know what time it is. T-Law got the eyes of Lee Van Cleef when he go in that field.
Checks it down underneath. That's a crossing route to Christian Kirk. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Christian Kirk to the goal line. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
They made a major mistake when they made T-Law go to the spirit of the sky, to the oracle of the saber-toothed tiger, and the saber-toothed tiger now has the scepter in his hand, and he been to put every critic to rest. Man, last night I done marinated 2 turkeys. I got my cherry wood getting ready for my smoker. Just got off from work, off Pritchard Road. I'm going to bake me 2 Cornish hen. My special recipe, I call it a Mediterranean Cornish hen. I'm going to top it off with my homemade Long Island iced tea. And I'm only going to top it off with 1 red top of Coca-Cola. The Maxwell House coffee will live on forever. Duval!
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Tom McManus, and Dylan Denmark.
All right, welcome in everybody. Fat Tony, I hope you have enjoyed your week because, well, he's still extending out. We're all off for Memorial Day, but welcome in to Jaguars Today. I'm off next week. You get a lot of Tom McManus, though, apparently, around these parts. Good morning, Tommy Mac.
Good morning. Happy Friday, man.
Did you think that Tony just got a lot better looking?
What do you
That's
mean?
Molly. This is Molly. Molly McDonald. Molly told me, I knew this like in the last couple of weeks, but she told us that next Friday is your final day here at 1010XL officially?
Yes. Yeah.
Is that right? So tell us where life is taking you.
I'm going to go back to school and go the nursing route and fulfill that kind of dream of mine right now.
Okay. Cool. And for folks who don't know, you're quite the accomplished athlete yourself,
Thank you.
right?
Thank you.
You do like triathlons, mini triathlons, marathons. Have you run marathons?
I ran a marathon last year, and then I just completed an Ironman last weekend.
How about that?
Last weekend?
Really? Ironman.
How'd it go?
It was good. It was good. I finished 5 hours, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds. Right under 6.
1 second under 6 hours. Isn't that awesome?
Unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
Holy cow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What's it like coming off the bike to what's the worst? Coming off the swim to the bike or the bike to the run?
I think the bike to the run.
Because
your legs
gotta
are
be all
just so
jacked
dead.
up,
And I was in Chattanooga, and the hills there are crazy. So that's definitely the worst. But once you get in like 3 miles, 4 miles, then your legs kind of
they come back
muscle
to norm.
memory. Yeah.
So we see Molly all the time. She does
Molly,
updates
that's
for us
awesome.
many days, right, Tommy? And we'll go, so what did you do this weekend?
Yeah.
I got on a plane, I went somewhere, and I just ran around for hours and hours, and I came back, and
no big
that's
deal.
what she does, and that's pretty awesome. So, but you're still going to continue to do some stuff here with 1010XL, right?
With UNF.
With
UNF.
UNF.
The sideline, right?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
You're
Cool,
enjoying
man.
that?
Still in the sports world a little bit.
All right.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Bit,
right.
but I mean, you're still going to be here for another week, and
Yes.
do a great job, and we appreciate having you around. And you also have been working here at the front desk for a lot. So people who stop by 1010XL have won something. You may have said, who is that lovely young lady? That is Molly McDonald.
From Chicago.
From Chicago.
From Chicago.
That's
right.
She's quite the athlete. So we appreciate
Thank
you
you.
being
Molly.
a part of the program and all that you've done for us. And we wish you the best.
Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
All right,
All
you've
right.
always got a home here. Molly's like,
Molly the
"Get
nurse.
out. I'm
Yeah,
leaving
I'm out
now.
here. Leave me alone.
Get me off camera. All right. All right. There she goes. Molly
That's
McDonald. Hope
great.
you caught that on
Future nurse in the making right there.
Absolutely. Maybe she and Beef will open up a private practice of some kind. Right?
Ooh, I like that.
Beef's a nursing fellow right
beautiful.
there. So, hey, whatever, man.
Heck
How was your week, Tom McManus?
Had a great week. You know, we started in Stewart last. Oh, you mean this week? Last week I was off.
Whenever, man. How was your off
like
week?
7 weeks ago?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. No, the week off.
Tell us about 2013.
I can't.
Was it a
remember
good
that. I would need reminders. We ended up in Almirada for about 5 days, the whole family, including my Kelsey, who flew in from L.A.
Is that where you did your offshore fishing?
Yes,
I saw
we
your.
did.
Your
and I'm not a
social media
big fisherman, but
I'm not either. But it looked fun.
It was fun. Each girl caught a couple black tuna. They're good fighting fish, and in rough seas too.
Black tuna's delicious.
It's phenomenal. My friend Robbie and Jennifer, they were kind enough to invite us down, and we went out fishing, and then we cut it. We got it all cut up, and we cooked it. It was so good that night. It's fun down there. It's hot. I'm not a huge boater. I'm not a big – I like catching, but I don't really like fishing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't like feeling seasick.
You don't want to do all the things. You just want that 2 minutes where he's on the hook and you reel him in.
Although,
it's work.
It's workout.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, but anyway, it was a lot of fun having the whole family together. And Kelsey's still in town. We're celebrating her 21st birthday, along with another friend of ours. Their daughter turned 21 as well this weekend. So you'll see us all out at the beach at the corner. Probably starting tonight or later weekend.
And you played a little golf this week?
Played in the J Fund on Monday. Got the chance to play with 5 beautiful ladies, all connected to Boston College. So that was really cool.
Okay.
Met Luke Kuechly for the first time.
Okay.
Who broke my record in its 20th year, and I never met him. So, man, big kid. Like, I didn't know he was that big. I mean, not that I felt small next to him, but he's tall. He's a good 6'3", still looks like he's in great shape. He's doing the radio for the Panthers. But, so I got a funny story. So Coughlin this year, by the way, they raised like $984,000. It's such a great night.
Hey, by the way, Dylan, have you heard me ask Tom McManus from time to time, you want to put a peg in the ground and maybe chase the white ball around? Oh, the answer's always no. But, I could go play the stadium course. Let me dust off the clubs
The
here.
1996 clubs, let me tell you, with no golf shoes.
All right, so what went down?
So anyway, first of all, got to meet Liam Cohen for the first time.
Okay.
Really cool guy, man. I actually watched him, just interact. I like him, man. Good, genuine guy. I got a chance to chat with him for a few minutes. Saw Doug Peterson the next day at the tournament. Got a chance to say, hey, man, thanks for, all you did.
How's he
doing? He's doing great. He's like, it didn't work out. They're living in Jupiter. He's feeling good.
Okay.
He's all right. Obviously,
still getting paid. So
he'll be good. He'll be good. Met Asher from Ghost.
Grodman. Is that?
It's funny. He's like, you were the only guy that really didn't like the video I did. I was like. Yeah,
what, the one from last year?
Yeah, I was like,
I thought
that I didn't like it. I'm not a big hype video guy, per se. But
he remembered that, though.
He did remember that, which was funny.
All right.
And Bill O'Brien was there from Boston College. Yeah. Mike Panos brought him in, a lot of guys. So anyway, we're on 16. And look, I'm not that great of a golfer. Right? I had a few good shots, a couple big bombs, a couple putts. The ladies, they play golf. They're trying. It just took a while. It took a while. Patience. The good Lord. I earned some points with the Lord because I.
How long did the tournament take?
About 5 plus.
Between 5 and 6. It's always like
that. It's going to be like that. Yeah. But we just, and I struggled too. We all
and nobody's going to rush at the stadium course.
No. And for the record, I've passed playing I tell the J Fund because I always do the lunch and I MC the luncheon at the end. Okay. I've done that for 15, maybe 20 years. So I've been doing it for a long time. But I always tell them I'm not really a golfer, but if you need me in a pinch, celebrity bails or what, I'll play.
Sure.
So I got a text Saturday night. Hey, could you play? I was like, She's like, yeah, why not? It's a stadium. It'll be fun. I'm playing for a Boston College guy, alumnus named Pops and his group. So I'm like, yeah, man, I'll do. We always go to the dinner. We love going to the dinner. So anyway, we're on 16. First, I go left or go right. I slice it right a little bit, so it's on top of the hill on 16.
Yeah,
okay. So and by the way, there's 2 other balls up there. I think one of the ladies went up there, and there was just another ball. So I eventually hit all 3 because the first 2 were terrible. And the third one I hit high. You've seen it before, nice and high, but it sliced. I thought it would hit the water, no big deal. Well, turns out it hits the 17th green, where Coughlin's putting for the foursome in front of us. I don't find out until I get up there because Coughlin's like, did you hit that ball? I was like, yeah. I was like, what did it hit you guys? Like, it's right here, and I'm putting it in for birdie. He goes, I don't care how you got here. You just got a birdie because he was putting for people.
Nice.
So he made the putt.
So it actually stayed on 17.
It did, right near the fringe, like about a foot away from the wood before the water. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just went that
way. Is a slice, brother.
I know.
That is a big-time slice to get it out to the island.
It was nice and high. It looked beautiful. It just went the wrong way.
If that were what you intended to do, it would have been very nice.
Yeah, but it was great. It's always a great event.
Oh, man.
And,
that's awesome.
I tell you what, it's funny. I went fishing. You know how I feel about fishing. I don't feel like, I can't wait to do it again. I went golfing. I don't really feel like I can't wait to do it again. You know what I mean? I thought maybe like it's still fun if the good shots feel good. You know,
I gotcha.
There's too many bad shots, and it beats up my body. I swing too hard. You know, I can't calm down.
Look,
I try.
My body is beat to whatever. I mean, it really is. It's I need one of those miracle baths that you see like in movies, like in Wanted. You remember the movie Wanted, the movie where they could bend the bullets with Angelina Jolie?
Oh, no.
Remember that? Oh, it's good. Great. I love that movie. Love it. James McAvoy.
Okay.
Morgan Freeman. Anyway, good movie. They, you get all shot up. They just dip you in this thing. You stay in there for a day, and you're all healed up.
Wouldn't that be great?
I need that, bro.
Yeah.
In a big way.
Or just an ice bath would be fine, too. You know,
that
jump
might help
in there.
That's more realistic.
I mean, my practice swing's nice and smooth and nice, but when I get ready,
you want to crank it.
Yeah, I want to see that thing go.
We all do. All right. Well,
great time, though.
Tommy Mack is here. And he got a birdie on 17.
That's right, baby. That's right.
So Coughlin, I take it then, was just standing up by the green. He was putting with everybody. He wasn't hitting
right.
shots.
I think last year was his first year moving to the green.
Okay, because I played in one, and it was at Marsh Landing years ago.
Yeah.
And he was on a par 3.
And he was teeing off.
Right. And he had signed every ball that he used. So, if you wanted to, you could grab it.
Yeah.
And he put us in the deep rough. And he's like, this is the first time all day I've hit one. We're like, thanks, Tom. Had to be our group coming through. But I had that ball for a long time. I don't know. I don't know what I did with it.
I'm sure it's somewhere
over the years. But that's good stuff, right? Today, Tommy, we'll go over the week that was in Jaguar football and some of the topics that we discussed.
Okay.
But today's Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day is something we got off of NFL.com. They got a piece up, one underappreciated player from every NFL team. They selected Brenton Strange for the Jags. So we can talk about that. But today's Chad and Sandy real estate question today is, do you agree with that? Who is a player that you feel is underappreciated for what he does do for the Jags? We all talk about what more they could do, but what about the guys that do a lot already, or at least do more than they're given credit for, in your opinion? So we'll talk about that today. And if you want to get in, 641-1010 on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines. Same number for the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Hop in the YouTube virtual studio chat. Post your thoughts and questions there. And, of course, on social media, at MD_1010XL, at Meathead55, and at 1010XL Denmark.
Y'all ain't that good in New York.
Man, you had to choose violence this morning again.
Come on, man. Y'all overrated.
Unbelievable, this guy. Love you, Dylan. But Denmark, how are things? Everything good?
Yeah, all good. Just finished spring ball last night, so mark that off the calendar, and I'm free for the summer.
All right, so you had the spring game last night, so we're definitely getting a Baldwin Sports update.
It's coming up, baby. I'm
coming up.
ripping out the banjo.
Beautiful. All right, we'll talk Jaguar football with you. Dylan's getting the banjo fired up, and we're ready to roll. Tom McManus is here. Tony Smith's got the day off. I'm Mike Dempsey. This is Jaguars Today. Keep it right here on 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. After work, crack open a cold one with Rick Ballou.
How's that beer tasting?
Like the first of many.
Into the night.
Make yourselves at home, sweet home, boys.
Evenings on 1010XL.
I hear we're getting a new cappuccino machine. Just when you thought we couldn't bring you more, Keon Atlantic is here with a brand new store. We have the same great team to treat you well, with new savings during our grand opening sale. Keon Atlantic is here with the new store. Shop our best offers and largest selection yet. Save big during our grand opening sale. Is there something for everyone on our lot? You bet. If you're ready to experience something new, the all-new Keon Atlantic is ready for you. Your perfect ride is a visit away. Online at KeonAtlantic.com. Keon Atlantic, your coastal Kia connection.
Summer in Jacksonville is coming in hot. Lauren Brooks here. Beat the heat with Turbo Tint. Their window tint blocks up to 99% of harmful UV rays and keeps your ride cool and comfortable. Book today at orangepark.turbotint.com.
As a contractor, finding reliable subcontractors is key to project success. Prosser here. Guys, that's where Lloyd's Heating and Air shines. Not just your mechanical HVAC experts, but your partner, understanding every facet of construction to keep your project on track. Lloyd's will spot issues early before they cause delays. If you're a contractor with a need for reliability, visit LloydsHeatingandAir.com. Lloyd's Heating and Air, keeping you comfortable in every season.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Gun charges, drug charges. I'm Attorney Malcolm Anthony, and I specialize in handling these types of felony cases. Stay out of trouble, but if you don't, call me at 285-4LAW. That's 285-4LAW.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
No one knows more about fishing the First Coast than Captain Kevin Faber. The Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show. Reeled in by the Pest Pros at Royal Pest Services. And Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Hey gang, Prosser here, and it's always great when you can replace a problem with a promise. And let me get right down to it. When it comes to Chad and Sandy and selling your home, here's a promise that you can count on. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Now, more. Spring selling season is here. Rates are down. Activity's up. Now's the best time in years to sell your home. Some homes are sitting on the market, though, and hiring an expert who can maximize your equity and minimize hassle is the key. Those expert agents, and I'm recommending them to sell your home, Chad and Sandy Newman. There have been lots of you out there on the First Coast who are taking advantage. Take David and Heather in Fox Ridge. This is out in Orange Park. We wanted to move to Keystone Heights to get closer to family, away from the city. We heard Chad and Sandy on the radio and called. What you hear is true. We got multiple offers and sold in 3 days for $15,000 above asking price. Call the local experts I trust and recommend to sell my home and yours. Call Chad and Sandy, 414-6200, ChadAndSandy.com.
Join us at Miller Electric May 29th from 4 to 7 p.m. We're on the lookout for talented people, from entry-level to experienced electricians and foremen, security system installation and service technicians, fire alarm system service technicians, and both senior and junior VDV technicians. This is your chance to get hired on the spot. Meet the managers, indulge in delicious food, and snag some awesome giveaways. Don't miss out on this electrifying chance to power up your career. Miller Electric, May 29th, 4 to 7 p.m., 6805 South Point Parkway.
Get this. Joey and me were supposed to go to this concert next week, right? But then something terrible happened. Joey was driving without a seatbelt. But he didn't wreck. No, he got pulled over. Now Joey has to pay for a seatbelt ticket instead of a concert ticket, and I have to go by myself. How lame is that? So Joey, if you're out there, you're an idiot. Wear your seatbelt or you'll get a ticket.
All across the country, cops are cracking down. Click it or ticket, day and night.
Funded by the Florida Department of Transportation.
The 2025 season schedule has dropped, and single-game tickets are on sale now. Be at the bank to watch Travis Hunter, Trevor Lawrence, and the Jaguars take on the biggest names in the NFL. Don't miss your favorite matchup and secure your tickets now by visiting Jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. See you this fall, Jags fans.
Yes, sir. That's the best decision.
I love it. With 50 years of fabrication expertise and towing products, the family at Cannons of Jacksonville can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Need cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash, and they're ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. And gold market prices are at a record high. Get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mac in the Middle, Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. On 1010XL.
Make sure my banjo's
You're
pretty
going to
good,
get me in
Mike.
trouble on the West Side, Dylan.
What are we doing?
I don't select this music for the fine folks on the West Side, all right? I feel like they're my people, and I feel like this...
I like the banjo.
Yeah, but,
Should fly, don't bother me, man.
Maybe, a step beyond what we're talking about here. But whatever. Dylan has selected this as his Baldwin Update theme music that he likes to go with.
I love it.
Spring football last night
Spring
concluded?
football last night, Mike. 6 o'clock was kickoff between First Coast and Yulee for the first half. It was a 3-half game between the three teams, Baldwin, First Coast, and Yulee. And bus was laid up B-Town, so we didn't see anything in the first half, Mike. We couldn't get a good scout report, couldn't get none of that stuff. But, hey, we showed up 3 minutes right before the end of the first half between First Coast and Yulee. And we played First Coast first, and we beat them boys 14-9. So, come on.
All right.
Baldwin.
Deshaun Jacobs and James Barnett, they got them touchdowns. We were feeling good. Then we had a little break. Yulee came out. Oh, and Yulee took it to his son. Oh, my
They stand that high.
Them linemen, they had big asses, and they moved our little boys out the way, son. They ran power and counter all night.
Couldn't deal with it.
I told Coach not to say, hey, Coach, we got to fix this big guy right here, Coach. They keep hitting it. They keep hitting it over and over and over again. We got to fix this.
Run blitz.
And we try to walk the linebackers up. We couldn't fix it, and they beat us 7-0. So
7-0's not terrible.
That's not too bad.
Do you need Tom McManus? I'm going to get in trouble here. Do you need Tom McManus to stop by a Baldwin practice in the fall?
I will greatly appreciate
Run blitz.
Tom McManus coming to beat
and have him teach you the importance of the run blitz.
We got to shoot a gap is what you got to do. So you do it with a run blitz. You know what I mean? If they're just pounding you got to do something. You can't just stand there and let them.
You got to take a chance, right?
Yeah, it's like, stand there letting someone punch you in the head. You got to
Now, what do
duck
you
the
do
moves.
if they bring a tight end as an extra lineman and an H-back, a sniffer, and they have 7 linemen? What do you do there, Mike? What do you do there, Thomas?
Bring in more linemen.
All right.
Tell your fat offensive lineman to play defense for a few snaps.
Pass the word along.
You assume Baldwin's got fat offensive linemen.
They should be fat.
Do we have
That's
fat
how you move
offensive
people
linemen
out of the
with
way.
Baldwin?
We have 7 offensive linemen.
7 total?
7 total right now.
You only need 5, so get your 2 biggest and put them on D-line.
Get out there and do something.
Yeah, so half the season's underway, and, everybody's in the transfer portal now. That's
All
how the
right.
game works.
Well, so now you're off. Like, when do the players next get on the field to practice?
Well, they got summer workouts here in about 2 weeks. But
that's just like
training
conditioning
camp.
and lifting,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And then fall camp starts that Monday,
All right.
whatever that first August / July.
The only
It's a
way I
quick
keep
summer,
up with the
man.
high school sports scene is Dylan's involvement
I love
with
it.
Baldwin.
I love it.
And Tony calling Bowls games.
We got a lot of good high school ball around here, man. All kinds. Football, basketball,
Got a little everything.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Lacrosse.
Are you ready to dip into the grab bag here?
Let's do it. What do we got?
See what happens. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
We'll find out.
Spin the wheel.
641
Oh, no, that's the other show.
1010. That's all right. We can spin our own wheel. It wouldn't be, but I'm not wearing a diaper and going to Denny's or anything like that.
Oh, come on.
You're not going to chug milk?
I'm not going to chug milk. I don't think I could. I don't know if I could drink a gallon of water in an hour. That's a lot of liquid to consume.
I don't want to say anything because next thing you know, let's see if you do it.
Let's see if we're talking there. Bring in the water. Here we go. We've had it. It's ready to go. Tom, you want room temperature? You want ice cold? What do you want?
It would have to be room temperature to throw that down.
You think so?
Yeah, the cold. I love cold water, but
Are you one of these people that my wife and her mom they and apparently this is like scientifically true. If you drink warm lemon water with lemon in it, but you throw it in the microwave for 20 seconds or whatever, it kickstarts your metabolism.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's better than drinking just like regular water.
Okay.
So my mother-in-law does that instead of drinking like morning coffee. Just pop a cup of water in there, throw some lemon juice in there. I don't know. Haven't tried it.
I was up at like 4:30 this morning.
Were you? Were you drinking warm anything at that time?
I had some coffee. Yeah.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, I had it set for 5. I had to
What did you
wait
get up that early for?
Sometimes I just get up. My thinking is, so I have to get my youngest. I don't have to get her up, but I make sure she's up and getting out the door for her high school. She's almost driving, so that'll be on her own soon. But I like getting up. I like the quiet. I don't like 4:30. I'm more like 5. 5:15. But I do like that hour or so and a half that it's just me and
you
maybe,
and
maybe the
morning
dogs
dew.
come out. Even the dogs stay asleep. They're in with mom, tucked on the bed, two big shepherds. The minute I get out of my spot, I swear they jump right in. Dad's gone. I'm going to sleep next to mom. And I go out there and I do my work and get ready for the day and rock and roll hoochie coo. But
There you go.
Yeah. Might be a nap in the afternoon, Demps.
It happens.
Yeah, 20 minutes.
It
No
happens.
big deal.
20 minutes, huh? Wow.
Oh, man, I do power naps. You don't do power naps?
I do
man.
naps. I do sleep naps.
Like 2-hour naps? See, I used to do that in college.
It depends. That not
Can you get
every
that?
day,
Can you get
but
an hour in?
I love to get an hour.
Wow,
yeah, an hour is awesome. Depends. Like if I'm working at night, if I'm doing at this time of year, I'm not. So
you need it. Yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah,
whatever.
Good.
All right, let's go to the grab bag. 641-1010 on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines and say hello to Philip in Arlington. Philip, good morning.
Señor Miguel, ¿cómo está? Hola, Bambino Dylan. Señorita Dylan tiene
You call him Senorita?
27 years. Where is your mother, Dylan? Hey, who's the black cat that's always talking about Maxwell House Coffee and Saberdew Tigers that was in the open?
Yeah, I don't know about this whole call.
I'm not feeling the vibe on that.
I'm
one,
not.
man.
I'm
really
not
not.
either.
No,
right there.
I don't like
so
that. I don't like that attitude, Philip. Whatever that is.
We're gonna hit the reset button.
Yeah. Forget the grab bag
on that one.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry,
so,
buddy.
Philip, have a great weekend.
Yeah.
And
All
a
good.
happy
Whatever.
Memorial
But
Day.
We're all about happiness, man. Positivity.
Absolutely.
With some critique, because I will throw it down. Of course, you have to, but at the same time, it's all good stuff.
All right. We're gonna jump off of that one.
Let's do it.
His
name's Holiday, by the way.
Yes, Holiday is our guy.
He's our guy.
Yes. Thank you, Philip. Have a wonderful weekend. All right. So NFL.com.
Okay.
32 teams, 32 underappreciated players. Respect is due is what the piece is entitled, basically, subtitled. And they selected for the Jacksonville Jaguars, Brenton Strange. Before I go into the criteria for why they picked him, how do you feel about Brenton Strange? Do you feel like he is underappreciated for what he brings to this
I
football
would say
team?
more, at least last year especially, underutilized. Like underused. I mean, I said it all year. Like the guy would make a great play one game, during the game, and be like a 20-yarder. He makes a great catch, runs the guy over, gets you a bunch of yards, and then you never go back to him. Now, I'm not saying you're taking a bunch of catches away from Evan Ingram, when he was here, but at the same time, especially when he was hurt, you had to. But at the same time, even when he wasn't, you throw a few more passes to Brenton Strange. I never understood that. Guy's very athletic. I thought he was could always be that use check type of player as well. But I like the way they're using him. I think he's very talented. Remember the first time we stood next to him when he was a rookie?
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, that kid.
He's he's put together.
Like,
absolutely
that's
right.
a good-looking tight end.
Oh, he
or
can
ball
absolutely
player right
do
there.
that use check type stuff if that's what they wanted
if that's what
in
they
their
wanted.
offense.
Right.
So few offenses do that.
So if underused is, not,
I don't know if it's underused. I think this is more like underappreciated to me is like even just taking what he's done, he should get more credit for that. Even, is there room to grow? Maybe, but that's I think a different category.
I think for him, it's just more opportunity. I guess you could say because Hunter Long and the other
Johnny Munt.
Yeah, bigger, different, blocking, 6'6", big kind of guys, right? He's not as big as that. And, maybe they think, well, why would you bring those guys in when you got him? Where I think it's great because then you can free him up. You know what I mean? So he doesn't always have to be lining up.
He's not
and
the
being
tell. Like when Strange is on the field in the past, oftentimes you're running the football. Right. Because that's
what they did.
He's like your sixth offensive lineman kind of thing. Here's what is Gennaro DeFelice, I think, did it at NFL.com. In selecting Brenton Strange, he wrote, if Jacksonville had not parted ways with Evan Ingram, Ronald Darby, and Andre Cisco, one of them might have been the choice here.
What? He ain't been watching.
Like
that's just trouble with some of those.
Ronald Darby had a bad year here.
So did Cisco.
Yes, Ronald Darby has been a good player in the NFL.
Yeah.
And I was surprised at how poorly he played last year. Man, think back to training camp last year. There was buzz about how well he was playing.
He was playing well.
Days of training camp.
In his defense, though, he played a lot of off coverage, and that wasn't his game.
He's a press man guy.
He's a press dude, and for whatever reason, they kept him off, and that wasn't his game. And it's hard. It's a different game. you're reading reacting in space as opposed to trying to dictate at the line of scrimmage.
Maybe they're saying Ryan Nielsen didn't appreciate him enough.
Yeah, maybe so. Or maybe he couldn't run the defense he wanted to for whatever reason. I don't know. Cisco, come on.
I don't get it. But one of them might have been the choice thanks to decent individual performances during an otherwise extremely forgettable year. Like that, I'm not sure you watched the film well enough. I mean, Evan Ingram didn't even play half the year.
No,
right? Evan Ingram's always pretty good. Had been in his Jaguar career when he was there, and I think he was appropriately appreciated. Let's put it that way. Of course, that's how I feel. But here we go. It goes on. But as someone young enough to have a key long-term role in the core being assembled by Liam Cohen, Strange is more interesting anyway. His 2024 totals, 40 catches, 411 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns, might look modest unless they're stacked next to his numbers from a quiet rookie year, 9 targets, 5 catches, 35 yards, and 1 touchdown, in which case they serve as enticing proof that he could handle a massive uptick in workload. I think if you're saying he's underappreciated because he outperformed his own rookie numbers, I don't know. I feel like this is not the most well thought out.
No, well, not when you throw Cisco into the mix because he had a bad year. I mean, he just did. He was out of position a lot. I think he came in out of shape, too big, wasn't as fluid, wasn't as quick. Mentally, they attacked him all year long. You saw that they were high-low in the safeties all year. He was always jumping. He seemed to be out of position. So if you obviously weren't watching the tape. Now he made some plays, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, he did not have a good year last year.
All right, let's do this. We'll come back. Let's go through some of the candidates on offense who we think, are they underappreciated? Are they overhyped? Or whatever the case may be.
Sure.
And we'll get into that as we go along. It's your Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day. Which one Jaguar do you feel is the most underappreciated for what he's done? Not what he potentially could do, but for what he has done and doesn't get enough recognition for it. So we'll talk about that as we go along. Tom McManus is here. Dylan Denmark. I'm Mike Dempsey. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Even more Jaguars. Listen to the Tommy Mac podcast with Tom McManus and Campo and Joe with Dave Campo and Joe C. Find these original podcasts at 1010XL.com or on Twitter at 1010XL.
Tired of a plain and boring backyard? Stonecore on Phillips Highway is your one-stop choice to beautify your home. With pavers, stonework, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces, pergolas, and driveways. Visit stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
Hey Jacksonville, Lauren Brooks here for Big Chief Tire. If you need new tires, Big Chief has affordable options to fit every budget and every vehicle. Their team of experts will help you find the right tires and make sure they're installed quickly so you can get back on the road. Don't wait. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule your appointment and explore their great tire deals. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
Keeping kids active is a full-time job for parents. Look no further, though, than I-9 Sports, covering Duval, St. John's, and Clay to get your youngster in the game. Spring and summer registration open right now for flag football, soccer, t-ball, and basketball. Plus, all new girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows. I-9 Sports with fields and gyms all over 3 counties. And the best thing is I-9 Sports offers sports year-round so kids can always find a sport to play. i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Bueller, stay cooler with Bueller.
Jason, I don't see how a new air conditioner is going to work out for me.
Well, you like air conditioning, right?
Oh, yeah, totally. But a new air conditioner could be expensive.
Well, not if you...
I mean, to save up the money, I probably have to give up my extra hot skim latte every morning. Now I fall asleep during a staff meeting, get volunteered for the summer picnic committee, and end up sitting in the dunk tank all afternoon getting water up my nose.
Okay, look at it this way. Put on these sunglasses. Whoa. Bueller Air and Plumbing puts in a new AC. We hook you up with affordable financing, and you stay cool and comfortable for just $149 a month. Cool?
Cool. I see it now.
Life can be hard on your budget, If you suffer through the heat because of a broken AC you could totally afford to replace, you could visit.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Life happens every day, and sometimes it gets in the way. That's why 1010XL makes it easy to listen to your favorites. If you missed it, get it on demand.
At 1010XL.com.
Channeled by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web, precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
Hey, Hicken here, and you know I'm going to talk about skin. Yeah, it's hot outside, folks. The oven is on. Temps are in the 90s, and it's only getting hotter. I love the summer, but my skin doesn't. I do my best with dry-fit shirts, big floppy hats, plenty of water. My secret weapon, though, the sunscreen. I use it regularly. Maybe you should as well. Look, I've also been seeing docs at Beaches Dermatology for years, and my skin thanks me for it. I'm telling you, it could save your life. Book your appointment today at beachesdermatology.com.
This Memorial Day, Navy Mutual would like to salute Pittsburgh Pirates Hall of Famer Roberto Clemente. Beloved in the baseball world, it shouldn't be forgotten that Clemente was a private first class in the United States Marine Corps for almost 10 years of his baseball career.
Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Mike Dempsey, and now's the time to get your roof hurricane ready with Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jacks Beach. Look, our rainy season is no joke, and if your roof's got damage, leaks, or it's just plain worn out, don't wait. Apex is local, dependable, and will show up on time using only premium materials with ironclad warranties. No shortcuts, no stress, just quality work you can trust. Skip the storm season scramble. Reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacks Beach or visit apexroofingfl.com.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service. 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. On 1010XL.
All right, Jaguars Today on this Friday. Tommy Mack back in the saddle. Fat Tony gone, but he'll be back next week. Tom's going to be sitting in, I think, on 3 of the 4 shows.
I believe so, yeah.
Tuesday through Friday. Maybe a little OTA action as well on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Is the next opportunity to get out there and watch those folks. And I literally have no plans other than, do some honeydews, whatever my wife wants me to do. I may end up going to OTAs. That's how I'm already thinking, what am I going to do next Tuesday? I'll probably
and you don't have to go work or anything. You
just go hang out for an hour and see what's happening.
Yeah.
Get my weekly fix of Travis Hunter in there.
Anybody stand out? And what really was? I know it's on air. Everyone gets so it's on air.
You could see Hunter's quickness and his ability to pluck the ball. BTJ looks like who he is. You know what I mean?
That guy.
honestly, they did a lot of the work on Monday on 2 fields away. You know, and they rotate through. They're not trying to stick it to us or anything like that. I don't think it just happened that's the way it fell. And so it's what stood out was defense had their hands on the ball all day.
Did they?
You know, you had Trevor threw a couple of picks. Tootin laid on the ground. I think Nick Mullins threw a pick. So there are a number of guys on defense making plays. How much you buy into that? We've heard it forever, right? Defense ahead of the offense early on, right? When you have a practice like that early in the process, especially when you're installing a new offense, does it mean anything to you?
No, and the good doesn't either, for the record. You know what I mean? Like, you know, the good stuff, they're working it out. I mean, it's a system they're going to have to get used to. It's going to take a little time. It's not going to be, so I don't get – Trevor throws a couple picks. He throws a couple touchdowns, whatever. It doesn't really, mean that much to me anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it means something. Don't get me wrong. It has some value in your whole, retrospect. But,
Do you think Trevor Lawrence would you say he's polarizing for Jaguar fans at this point or not quite there?
What define
meaning I think there is a group that feel like Trevor Lawrence does not get nearly enough credit for the things he does do because when you consider the state of the offensive line, the weapons, the dysfunction in the building, the defense constantly putting him in bad positions or not, going out of the way to put him in great positions or you know what I'm saying?
I do.
So you got that camp.
Right.
You got the other camps like, look, just wake up and see the reality. And I know the ones in the first camp hate the comparison to Daniel Jones, right? Oh, it's just stats. Watch the film. But the numbers are the numbers.
Right.
And so there is some of that you look at it and go, why hasn't he separated himself from a guy who's already been given up on by the team that drafted him? I do feel like he polarizing in the sense that there's some that think he's never going to be any good, that he's no good, he's never going to be any good. That's not me. I think he's talented, but he needs to be a lot better. Right? But I think there are those who feel like he is like I would imagine we're going to get some votes today that Trevor's the most underappreciated player on this.
I'm sure. I'm sure we will. And I think some of it's justified, there is that contingent that think he does nothing wrong. Like he's just it's everybody else's fault. It's not him at all. And then there's that contingent, like you said, that think he sucks. Now, he doesn't suck at all. And he does plenty wrong. So it's in the middle somewhere. Look, at the end of the day. So in polarizing in that fashion, I mean, I'm sure there's people that say, okay, he's okay. They can look at it objectively and not have bias. Look, here's the thing that everybody should understand or should know. We all want him to work out. We want him to be this phenomenal QB. We want the league. We want the Monday night games. We want all that attention because we have one of the best quarterbacks in the league, right? And he proves it week in and week out, year after year. Now, there'll be people that hear that say, well, we have him, Tom. We have him. But that's not real. That's a biased opinion because at times he's been that, but then plenty of times he hasn't been that and nowhere near that. So it's somewhere in the middle. So in polarizing in that kind of sense.
That's what I mean. Yes. Yeah. Like there are some people on the extreme ends of it, and you can't talk to them about the opposite argument without them thinking you're absolutely crazy.
Right. Well, and look, the people that defend him, I get it. There a lot of those reasons, whatever you want to call them, excuses, reasons, they're valid. I mean, the O-line, I don't think the O-line, first of all, the O-line gets a lot worse rap than they deserve if you go by the numbers. Their sack totals weren't like the highest in the league. They were kind of, I think, actually 2 years ago they were very good. This year they were on 41. The highest was 68, I think, the Bears. So they, and that was really high. They're probably they're probably midway. They're probably, 15 or 16. It's not always them. The drops are a problem. Look, I'll tell you this. I've said it, but I've been saying it for 2 years. If they, on offense especially, and defense, but on offense we're talking, if they executed only 50% better, like catching the ball, throwing the ball in the right spot, hitting the hole at the right time, making those blocks, running the right routes, doing the right time, just 50% better, they would have been much better team. They would have had way more than 4 wins. But that wasn't the case. And then you throw in the defense that kept making mistakes after mistake after mistake, and then throwing the offense doing the same. So, to me, it's in the middle. And I know this. Trevor Lawrence, all you people that think he sucks, you're wrong because he doesn't. He has got tremendous talent, this young man. His physical talents are really, really upper tier. There's no doubt about it. He's got the arm. He's got the size. He's got the mobility. He's got the toughness, physical toughness. The thing that I've questioned is just the mental aspect, seeing the field, understanding the management, time management, game, all that. You can blame it all on the coaches all you want. You can. But as most players, if not all, former players would say, yeah, a little bit coaching, but the majority, it's on the player. The player has to perform. The player has to prepare on his own when he's not around everybody else. And the quarterbacks especially, they got to study like crazy because they're the ones that they got the team in their hands. I mean, think about it, Demps. You hear it all the time. This team's only going to go as far. And I don't mean just Jags. Across the board. Any team. As far as their quarterback's going to take them, right? They're only going to go that far. So here's what gives me a lot of hope, and I've been saying it all offseason. Baker Mayfield made a quote that really stood out to me. He said, what Liam did for me as a quarterback was the pre-snap. Help me simplify what I'm looking at before the ball's even snapped, which is more than half the battle. If you have an idea where you're going with the football before reading and reacting, now it's not a perfect science, you're going to be better off, right? So if that can be simplified, if the mental part can be, and they can help them with that, I think Trevor Lawrence can be that quarterback. You can win with Trevor Lawrence. I'm just not sold in the whole, I saw someone top 10, top 8, top 3. He's not. Could he be? Absolutely, he could be.
All right. Let's go through this rapid fire. Okay. All right. You and Dylan, I'll give you the team. I'll give you the quarterback. Okay. You tell me if you're starting a team today.
Okay.
You don't know who the coach is going to be. You don't know what the scheme's going to be.
Okay.
You don't know who your support is going to be.
Right.
You're starting it with a quarterback, and that's the foundational piece.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence.
Josh Allen. All day.
Not
even close.
Some of these are going to be obvious, right?
Okay.
Tua or Trevor.
Trevor.
Yep, me too. Justin Fields.
Trevor.
Drake May.
Trevor
right now.
Okay.
I'm not. He could be. We just don't know enough.
Okay, so we got out of that division. You take Josh Allen. Okay.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson.
No.
Lamar.
Right.
No.
Hell, Mason Rudolph.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on. Joe Burrow. Taking Burrow. Anybody on the Browns? All of them on the Browns.
No, sir.
We're taking Trevor. Right. All right. So we got
Flacco in his prime. No.
We got He's not in his prime.
Not in his prime. I get it.
C.J. Stroud.
I'd take Stroud.
I'd take Trevor. I think physically he's got more. I'd have to work on his mental, but I'd take Trevor.
Okay, so split vote on that one.
It's a close.
Let's see. For the Colts, Richardson or Daniel Jones, I think you're taking Trevor, right? Yeah. And Cam Ward or Trevor?
Trev.
Okay. Mahomes.
Patrick.
All right, so that's 4 clear winners there. Herbert. That's 5. Bo Nix.
Trevor.
Okay, that's 5 with a 5.5 because we had a split vote on Stroud. Let's see. Geno Smith.
Trevor.
Okay, Jalen Hurts.
Jalen.
That's 6. Let's see. Jaden Daniels.
Daniels.
7. Dak Prescott.
I would take Dak.
Trevor.
Yeah, that's a tough. I think that's a very.
I take a healthy Dak, but we don't know if he's going to be
right?
healthy.
We don't know if he's going to be healthy, and again, we don't know what the supporting cast is going to be. So, let's say 7. We had 2 split votes. Let's see here. Jackson
Dak's got
Dart.
to be more clutch, but I would take him.
Jackson Dart.
No,
Trevor.
Right. Jared Goff.
Goff.
Okay, for the next 5 years is what we're saying, right?
Yep.
So that's
He'll be 36.
He's only 30 right now. I think 30, 31 maybe.
Goff,
There's
good.
8. J.J. McCarthy.
Trevor.
I'd go Trev.
I would too. I mean, sight unseen. We don't know. Jordan Love.
That's a good one-on-one. I'll go Trev.
Another split vote. So 3 splits. 8 against Caleb Williams.
Trev.
Yeah, I slightly lean Trevor.
Okay, that's Baker.
For foundation piece, I'd go Trevor just because of,
5-year window.
5-year window.
Yep.
Oh, well.
I'll say Trevor just because I get 5 years.
I probably go Baker. He's coming off a
Baker's
41
he's
touchdown
a better
season.
He is at this point.
Michael Penix.
No.
Trev.
Let's see. I'm just going to skip some of these obvious ones. Matthew Stafford.
How old is he? Because they're saying 5 years.
Right. You probably take
Stafford's
Trevor
like
for the 5-year window.
Yeah, but if that wasn't a thing and you just needed to win now, I'd
just for the next 2 years.
All day.
Kyler Murray.
Trev.
Brock Purdy.
Purdy.
I'd take Trevor over Purdy. I don't know what system he's going to play. I don't get Shanahan.
I think he's probably one of the most underrated QBs in the league.
All right, so we'll disagree on that one. And then Sam Darnold.
Trev.
Not knowing?
Yeah, I mean, if you get a great play call with Sam Darnold, he's good. But, I mean, we've seen.
Yeah, you could also say if you had a great play caller with Trevor, what if he had Kevin O'Connell?
Or if they just executed the plays better, it'd be better.
So we got 9 or 10 guys that you'd take definitely over him for the next 5 years, and another 3 to 4 that you guys were kind of close on. So that puts him around, 12 to 15 somewhere.
Are you throwing Rodgers in the mix?
We're not taking him for the next 5 years. And
years.
That's why I went Mason Rudolph, just because we don't know if he's definitely playing.
Yeah. So
I don't think that's unfair, and I think he's there ahead of some of these guys because of what we think might happen, right?
Yeah.
Right? He's 25, man. His next 5 years should be his athletic prime.
For sure. For sure.
26 through 31 is, turned 26 in October. So, look, that's the guy we're riding with, regardless. So
I think every move they've made in the offseason is to make sure Trevor's got everything possibly needed for him to succeed.
Got to be. You'd be crazy not to,
you
right?
got to.
That has to be the mindset.
Including running backs that can pick up the blitz.
Absolutely. All that, Tom.
That's a big one.
Running backs that can pick up the blitz, but can also turn a 5-yard gain into a 55-yard
Understood,
gain. Right?
But if they can't protect the QB.
I'm with you. All these things, though. New weapons, a bunch of new offensive linemen here. And by the way, every addition on defense can help your quarterback as well.
Absolutely.
You don't have to be in a fourth-quarter shootout.
That's right.
Necessarily. All right, halfway home. Let's go through some other offensive players when we come back that may be underappreciated. Because, again, I do think I can understand the point of view that here's what Trevor's done. We don't appreciate him enough. There are others that think he's way overhyped, and it all comes down to your point of view. And I think there is some of that hopefulness for the people that are saying, hey, he should be higher up or considered better because he does have all the tools.
Yeah.
But tools are great.
Right, yeah. It's
Put it all
production.
together. Production. And this is the regime that they came in. We're not about tools.
Right.
I mean, you want tools.
Of course.
But we're about production. And they drafted guys with college production over projects, things like that. So we shall see.
Who
Hour
love
2
football.
on the way. Who love football. Got to have that too, Tom. It's an ecosystem we're building.
That's right,
here,
baby.
Right? All right.
Enemy.
Excuse me? 641-1010 on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. We may have occasional disagreements.
What an idiot.
We might even argue once in a while.
I mean, it's so obvious.
But we're always a team.
We're all friends here.
1010XL.
I love this job.
Join the family fun.
It's Work Zone Awareness Week, Florida. Every year, lives are lost in work zones because of speeding and distractions. When you see orange cones, remember, slow down, follow the signs, and stay focused. Workers are counting on you to get home safely, and so are their families. Let's work together to prevent crashes and save lives. A safety reminder from the Florida Department of Transportation. Slow your roll. Safety's the goal.
Looking for that designer engagement ring like Tacori or Verragio? Then hear this. The only locally owned authorized dealer here for these exquisite rings is Beards Diamonds. Beards is your destination for the top names in bridal design. Tacori, Verragio, Sylvie, Gabriel & Company, Gnome Carver, and more. If she's seen it on Pinterest or in a bridal magazine, Beards has it. Exquisite, handcrafted, and made in America. So you can get her the ring of her dreams without having to go to one of those national mega chain jewelers. At Beards, there's no big company rules, no Wall Street sales goals, no impersonal service. The non-committal commissioned experts at Beard's Diamonds will take their time and let you see dozens of ring styles from all the most sought-after designers. Beard's is proud to be Jacksonville's premier jeweler for nearly 45 years. We're committed to this area and promise an authentic, refined, and risk-free experience without markups, without pricing games, without corporate red tape getting in the way of making you happy. Beard's Diamonds, Jacksonville's diamond store, at the shops at St. John's Town Center.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Yo, E.T. here, and I need you to beat the heat this summer with cool escapes and non-stop fun in Clay County. Tackle indoor adventures head-on. Throw axes at Live by Axe or smash your stress away at Just Smash That. Then kick back with drinks, good food, and fandom vibes at Nakama Anime Bar or Leaderboard Arcade and Bar. Whether you're blowing off steam or just looking to chill, Clay County got your perfect indoor getaway. Find your cool at exploreclay.com. That's exploreclay.com.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Mia here for my friends at Closets by Design. It's been a few months since they built my custom closet. Even my family is obsessed. And with Father's Day right around the corner, why not surprise Dad with his own custom garage workspace? Tool storage, workbenches, the whole works. Closets by Design creates custom solutions for every space, lifestyle, and budget. That includes Dad's. Call to schedule your free in-home consultation and receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off. Visit closetsbydesign.com.
Denny Thompson here. You gotta check out Tyson's Showroom Home Theater with surround sound and comfy theater chairs. You can transform your living room into a cinematic experience. I can stay there to watch all my games. It's that comfortable. Call Tyson today and bring the theater experience home. Tyson Sound and Security, your security, home theater, and home automation experts. New showroom at 3555 U.S. Highway 17 in Fleming, Iowa.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. Did you know that mosquito bites could lead to heartworm for your dog or cat? When mosquitoes show up, pet parents want them gone. Terminix takes mosquitoes down fast, just like they did at my house for our pup. Terminix knows that pets are part of the family. They do what it takes to help protect them. When mosquitoes show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a mosquito problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com.
Tired of wrestling with your shower curtain like it's a slip and slide gone wrong? Ditch the drama and say hello to a smooth, stylish glass shower enclosure from Baker Glass. Wago Glass is clean, elegant, and makes your bathroom look huge and brighter. Give your shower a makeover and feel like you're in a spa without the price tag. I'm Mac at Baker Glass. Call me and get ready to love your new shower. Let's make your shower great again. Remember, Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL local sports update brought to you by Southern Oak Insurance.
The Jacksonville Jaguars have officially wrapped up Week 1 of OTAs, and the Executive Vice President of Football Operations, Tony Baselli, spoke on the EVP podcast with Jags senior writer John Ozier on what he's seen so far and how he feels it's hard to truly evaluate during this phase.
Says don't make judgments on fake football, but it's still important. I don't want anyone to take that as like, hey, this isn't an important time. What you can evaluate, the demeanor of the guys you brought in, their learning style, how much they can comprehend, and the capacity. And our coaches are throwing a lot at them. How they got integrated to the program. You watch a little bit on the field, maybe the athletic ability and, how they go integrate with the rest of their teammates and going through individual and stuff, but we're not competitive on the field right now.
The Jaguars will get back on the field to continue OTAs on Tuesday, May 27th. It's 86 degrees at 11 o'clock. Time in temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Tom McManus.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service on 1010XL.
All right, Tommy Mack in studio here with us. You'll get a lot of Tom with Tony Smith next week here on Jaguars Today. I'll be off. Tony will be back on Tuesday. We'll all be off for Memorial Day on Monday, remembering those who make the ultimate sacrifice to protect our freedoms here in the U.S. of A. Appreciate all those folks out there, the vets, the people that are willing to put it all on the line.
And your families, too.
Absolutely.
Thank you all.
You're all in it together. All right. Why don't we get Dylan to today's NFL news?
Now, gems around the NFL. Brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
All right, it's good to be Abdul Carter. It's good to be any first-round pick these days in the National Football League. Thomas, all the first-rounders now get fully guaranteed contracts. In fact, that has slipped into round 2. Carson Schlesinger, Jaden Higgins, I believe, the first 2 picks of the second round, both got fully guaranteed rookie deals. Carter is 21 years old, and yesterday he signed his first NFL contract, 4 years, $45.3 million, all fully guaranteed at signing. The signing bonus is $29.5 million. Of course, the Giants also have a 5th-year option available to extend his tenure in New York if they don't extend him with a contract after his 3rd or 4th season. So Abdul Carter, like all those guys, getting filthy rich.
Yeah, you think about like Sam Bradford was the last first pick overall, getting that $50 million signing bonus.
Right. And this is creeping back up.
It's kind of like the same thing, but it's not all at once, right?
Well, the $29 million is the signing bonus, but
which is getting back up there.
Relative to the salary cap, Sam Darnold had that $50 million. Again, that's a bonus and it's spread out over the life of the contract, right? So that was hitting probably $10 million a year at that time. That $10 million was a much bigger chunk than $10 million would be today.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the cap just keeps going up and up and up.
It does.
I mean, look, all of it's paid for, right? It's not like they're economically irresponsible here. The players basically get 50% of the pie.
That's right. That's what they voted for.
That's where the money is,
That's
right? That's what sets the salary cap. And
it's a brilliant move.
It is what it is. And if you don't like those kind of things, don't watch professional sports because, hey, they've got a skill or a set of skills that not everybody can replicate. And
well, think about it. The league needs the owners. The league needs the players. If you don't have the players, you got to have a league. If you don't have the owners, you got to give a league.
Right. And times in the past, the owners have tried to play, we'll play anybody out there in that uniform. You see what happens in those strike situations and things like that.
How many UFL games do you watch?
None.
Me neither.
Because I don't know the players.
I just don't.
Or I don't know them to the degree that I'm not interested.
I know.
The football's not good.
I even put it on. And
Is it not good, though? Do you watch it?
No, sir.
It's not.
I'll see a clip here and there. I'm like, this is not.
Going to line them up for the next Baldwin spring game?
Yeah.
Get the UFL runner-ups, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Something like that on the schedule?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not.
NFL's
That's always
king.
been me, though. Like, I don't like many minor league sports, with the apologies to our fine minor league teams.
I like the hockey and the baseball, I guess.
And that's fine. But, like, I'm not going to follow it. Like, I can go to a Jumbo Shrimp game and enjoy the hell out of it,
of course.
and enjoy the atmosphere. But I don't know.
You're not getting season
the
tickets.
Marlins minor league system.
No,
like
right.
So,
I'm
that's me. And to each their own. The Arizona Cardinals have placed cornerback Sean Murphy Bunting on the reserve non-football injury list, which ends his season before it started.
Whoa.
Yeah, once you go on that list at this point in the offseason, you cannot come back off of it. Obviously, something that they think is going to keep him out for an extended period into the season here. And as Darren Urban pointed out, who's covered the Cardinals for years, well, it's a good thing they drafted both Will Johnson and Denzel Burke. And just kind of fortuitous.
Yeah.
Will Johnson just kind of fell into their laps right there.
Yeah, he did.
You know,
Michigan. Yeah.
sometimes guys slide because of injury concerns. Sometimes it's warranted. Sometimes it's not. But
Look at Tony Brackens. That's why he slid. They were worried about his knee, and they shouldn't have worried about anything.
Look at Miles Jack.
Yeah,
I mean, Miles Jack retired a little early, but it wasn't no hint that
Not
it was
due to
because
the
of the
knee.
knee.
Right.
Right?
No.
You heard all the microfracture, and it was all this. Oh, my gosh.
I talked to him not too long ago. He's a good dude, man. I like Miles.
What's he up to?
He's doing a lot of different things. I know he's part owner of not just the Iceman, the hockey, but he's part owner of a couple minor league, or at least one other minor league. I think it's hockey as well. Out
He still got his candles?
Texas or something like that.
Does he got a candle business still?
You know, he didn't mention that, and I forgot about that. But no, he's into different entrepreneur.
That's
type
what we
stuff.
keep doing around here.
Yeah, that's good. Way to go.
kind of things.
Maybe he does. I have no idea.
I would not have remembered
he was
that
a heck of
either.
a player.
I just remember Jalen Ramsey making fun of him. It was like an Instagram Live.
Oh, sorry.
It was an Instagram Live when Miles, they were making fun of him a couple of years ago.
For having a candle business.
Yeah.
They weren't making fun of him if he was making that money off that candle business.
They wouldn't make fun of him to his face either. That boy's
Some of them might.
joking around.
Yeah.
I told him my favorite play of his career was when Jalen Ramsey got into that fight with the Cincinnati Bengal wide receiver, and he was the first one in. And he's like, "Oh,
You
yeah,
love that.
I ran."
Well, maybe that's why Brenton Strange is underappreciated, because he was one of the most guys that came rushing to Trevor's defense last year against Houston.
That's right. That's right.
You know, of course,
I
we
love
shipped
that
out Evan
stuff.
Ingram. He was also
He was
they were the
he
front
was the
line
catalyst.
that day.
They were.
That duo was for sure. All right. So Miles Jack doing well.
Yeah, he's doing great.
You know, there was that point in time because we took Ramsey with the fifth pick.
Yeah.
That year, Zeke Elliott went fourth, and Jalen thought he was going to the Dallas Cowboys.
Right.
And there was that debate, like if Ramsey's off the board, should we take Miles Jack at 5?
Right.
Right. And then he slid through the first round, and I think they moved up a few spots. They didn't move right to the top of the second round. I think
second pick, maybe.
Maybe
the second round.
They moved up a few spots though to make sure that they got him.
Special player, man.
At that point in
guy
time,
had so much talent.
I mean, he played pretty high level running back.
Oh yeah, I know.
UCLA. I mean, was really good at it. Not, so there have been a few others, Travis Hunter, that have tried the two-way thing.
That's right.
But there was never a hint other than from, some Jaguar fandom, like, hey man, why don't we use Miles Jack's abilities?
Right.
And again, some of it's the mindset. Like, we saw him do it, but it wasn't the full-time guy all the time. I mean, Travis Hunter showed you he could handle
the workload.
And playing linebacker and running back, you're in
Very
collision
physical.
after collision after
for
collision.
Sure. Yep.
Hopefully, Travis Hunter's not in too many collisions. And it's only when he's blowing somebody up on defense, and he's really not that kind of corner.
Yeah.
Not built.
They haven't
for the
put him
blow-up.
out there yet, though, huh? Or they started to this week? Is that the plan?
They're
that we've
supposed
seen?
to, but we're not going to see everything. We don't know how much is going on behind the scenes, but they want to get. I think they feel like he's just. And the way he put it himself, Travis Hunter, defense is easy. I can pick that up.
Okay.
Like in terms of like, and I'm not trying to make it seem like he was like, no big deal. I'm just going to show up. No, he was saying like, I get this, these concepts, these things. I'm going to learn this very rapidly. I'm not worried at all about picking that up. He's been a defensive back.
Yeah.
That's been his primary calling card. Of course, I'm sure in high school, he had to have dominated two ways.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I mean, you don't just all of a sudden do it at the major college level.
No, right.
And come in like that. Dig us up some high school numbers, if you could, on Travis Hunter. They're dealing.
Can't even imagine.
You looked at Derrick Henry's high school numbers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean that's just like 4,000-yard seasons.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
4,000-yard season.
Yeah, kids were like getting out of his way. Here comes Derek.
Hey,
let him go.
Hey, he was the same age as all those kids, man.
I know.
He's just physically gifted.
All right, I got you, Travis Hunter.
What do you got?
Receiving his senior year had 85 catches, 1,200 yards, almost 13, Had 12 touchdowns.
Okay. Do you have any kind of defensive numbers or what he did defensively?
This is offense. Let me click.
It's
Defense,
easier to find.
Senior defense. 11 games played, 25 solo tackles. No sacks. I'm trying to. 5 passes defended and 4 interceptions his senior year. His junior year was his best year in high school. 8 interceptions.
Okay.
And on offense, he had, was it 1,700 yards? Yeah, 1,700 yards receiving, 137 catches with.
That sounds like a guy who was out at halftime.
24
games.
He had 24 receiving touchdowns his junior year of high school.
24.
Wow.
And then he went to 12 the next year?
12, yeah. He must not have.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's the guy who probably didn't play a lot of second halves.
Yeah.
Or
than when the game was in hand, he'd take him out. Yep. Wow.
So, you would expect that, though.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing
if you
him
could
in
do
person.
that at Colorado, you could probably do that against the best high schoolers out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Tommy, anybody who else? Let me just run through quickly on the underappreciated on the offensive side for the Jaguars. Is there any offensive lineman that you think fits that category for Jacksonville right now?
I'd say Ezra a little bit. I thought Ezra had a pretty good year last year.
Okay.
Overall.
So if there were to be one, Ezra Cleveland would be your guy. We talked about Strange. What about Brian Thomas Jr.?
No. I mean, I think everyone loves him to death. Right?
I do think there's an element, though, of so much focus on Travis Hunter. What is he going to do he's a great new weapon? Let's not forget.
Don't sleep on him.
We got a Pro Bowl level player who showed you already at this level that he can be that big-time playmaker, even with a backup quarterback down the stretch.
Listen, we want the opposing team to feel that way, too, so they forget about Brian Thomas
Let's have
Jr.
all the
Leave
talk,
him one-on-one, please.
All the talk be about Travis Hunter and let Brian Thomas Jr. feast because of that. What about the running back room? And we're not talking about incoming rookies here. Just return. Tank or ETN?
No.
Not underappreciated?
No.
Okay.
No, they got to be better, both of them together. I mean,
I'm not arguing.
If the people are down on them, I understand why.
All right. So basically, you think maybe Cleveland on offense, Trevor depending on how
you can make an argument for it.
Yeah, you can make an argument. I think you can make an argument for Brian Thomas just because of all the hype that Travis Hunter's had coming in.
Listen, and you feel the same way.
And look, the fantasy football people out there are not underappreciating Brian Thomas Jr.
Right.
If you don't have a top 10 pick, you will not get him this year, basically.
Good.
Maybe you'll get him at 11 or 12 on occasion. But in Jacksonville, you're probably going to need, top 6 or 7.
Yeah, you would think.
He's going to bump up. Like, you'll still take Chase. You'll still take Jefferson.
Right.
After that, you're like, do I want Puka or do I want BTJ?
Right.
And I'm going to take my guy.
Yeah,
is what you're
I
gonna
would
do.
too. Heck yeah.
So we'll see. All right, we'll run through some of the defense, your area of specialty and expertise. I think there are some good candidates on this side of the ball. This goes to an NFL.com piece today that did 32 underappreciated players, one for each NFL team. Give us your thoughts on any of your desired feedback methods, particularly social media. Just let us know if you think there is a particular player that is underappreciated for the Jacksonville Jaguars based on what they've accomplished to this point in their career, particularly in a Jaguar uniform. We'll get into the defensive side when we return in a moment. Tom McManus is here along with Dylan Denmark. I'm Mike Dempsey. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Believe in the unbelievable. Unbelievable! 1010XL. I can't believe it! We're hearing is believing. Unbelievable!
Are you ready to step up to luxury?
Check out the power of our exciting 2025 lineup, including the Lyric, IQ, Optique, and the stunning Visti.
With over 15 electric Cadillacs in stock and more on the way, it's the perfect time to trade in your Tesla and embrace luxury with a twist.
At Randy Marion, there are no tariffs. Visit Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville, and see why our electric lineup turns heads.
Don't miss out. Drive Cadillac, electric or gas. We have both. Plus tax tag title $9.99 admin fee and resistol on approved credit.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
Plumbing problems, AC not blowing, septic tank doing whatever septic tanks do? Don't call 3 different companies and play contractor roulette. Just call DuckDuckRooter. Waddle over to DuckDuckRooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
The NBA playoffs are here, and there's no better place to catch the action than Hurricane Grill and Wings. With slam dunk specials like $3.75 Miller Lite drafts, plus fresh, never frozen wings in over 30 flavors, and big screens everywhere. This is your home for all the games. Handcrafted cocktails, bold flavors, big plays. Don't just watch the games, experience them at Hurricane Grill and Wings. Find your spot at hurricanewings.com.
Skilled trade jobs are booming, so begin your high-pay, high-demand career today through the Northeast Florida Builders Association. Their apprenticeship program provides paid training in some of the most highly sought-after skilled trades. Get paid while you train, full-time, in carpentry, electrical, HVAC, or plumbing. Plus, earn a 10% raise every year, and the classes are 100% tuition-free. Start your new career today and apply this week at nefpaapprenticeship.org.
Hello. The Checkmate Coatings phone line has you covered from the floor up. From tough sports topics to strong surfaces, Checkmate Coatings is your floor's missing piece and your connection to the sports world on 1010XL.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. From now until May 28th, we're holding our big diamond sale, and now's the best time to buy a quality diamond of a carat or more. Here are a few reasons. First, there's severe upward pressure on rough diamonds, with 4 price increases already this year. Most of this has yet to hit the polished market, so they're diamonds for sale at the old prices. Next, our diamond cutters asked us to house their inventories of existing big diamonds so we could sell them here prior to them being offered to the jewelry trade in Las Vegas. This allows us the ability to sell from their vast stock at brokerage prices you have to see to believe. All of these diamonds are graded for cut, color, and clarity with independent laboratory grading reports. Now, along with this vast collection of big diamonds, we put all of our own meticulously selected loose diamonds and engagement-style rings on sale at prices from 3% to 25% off. We also take trade-ins, but remember, this sale ends May 28th at Underwood San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. What's better than beer? Cold beer. Put your company logo on a custom koozie. Check them out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Looking for a great place to enjoy some craft creations and soak up some scenery? Fernandina's Mocama Beer Company is a must-see and must-try. Nassau County knows it. Visitors need to find out about it. Mocama means near the big water where the sun is born. And if you visit their tap room in Fernandina Beach, you'll see how they've mastered equal parts precision and art in creating great flavors from IPAs to pilsners, lagers, and sours, plus plenty more. Mocama.com, Mocama Beer Company. Start an adventure and find them in Fernandina.
What Major League Baseball team has never been to a World Series? The answer next.
Southern Oak Insurance is proud to continue offering coverage statewide. Financial stability makes Southern Oak Insurance a wise choice for your homeowner's insurance needs. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance. The Seattle Mariners, who were founded in 1977, have never been to the World Series.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about not being afraid of the crosses of life. Life can be difficult. Maybe today you're carrying a cross of worry or stress. Let me encourage you to remember that when Christ got on the big cross at Golgotha, he destroyed all the little crosses that we face in our life. He set us free from fear, worry, and anxiety. Our job is not to be carried by the cross, but to be carried by our faith.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Are you ready to play this summer? At the First Coast YMCA, we're committed to being your home for health and wellness and a place for friendly competition with team sports for adults and for kids. Basketball, volleyball, pickleball, flag football, soccer. The Y has something for everyone at any age. Discover all the benefits of YMCA membership and find your fun this summer at the Y. Registration for team sports and summer camps is open now. Visit fcymca.org.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. He's number 55.
Tom McManus.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. On 1010XL.
All right. What was that right there?
I was like, let's
Ready to
go, baby.
Let's go. All right. You got a podcast today, too?
I do, yeah. Noon time. We'll be live on Facebook. We recorded inside the studios right here, 1010XL. So looking forward to it. Me and Grammage. Mostly me, but Grammage is my producer there and great guy to talk to and does a great job. So hope you enjoy it.
All right. There you go,
man.
Coming up, I will.
Mostly Jags stuff.
I'll catch up with that after vacation.
Catch up.
I'm
while
going to
you're
get a few
laying
episodes
down. When you're
stacked up.
catching some rest, catch up with Tommy Mack.
Catch up with Tommy Mack. All
Fish
right.
for some black tuna.
Yes.
There
Well,
you go.
look, you're the big deep sea fisherman now,
Or bluefin tuna.
or whatever. Yeah,
you're
all
into.
kinds of tuna, yellowfin. They're all kind of
they're all good.
delicious tuna varieties out there.
Lots of tuna
For you. No question about it, Tom. All right. Let's get to the Jags defense here.
Okay.
I think this is pretty easy to identify the candidates for underappreciated, in my opinion, right? Is there a player in the secondary, returning player, that you think is underappreciated for what they do? Is Tyson Campbell underappreciated?
No.
Okay.
Aluakin is, I think.
He's not in the secondary, but
I know. I don't think anybody in the secondary is.
Okay.
I think they got a lot to prove.
I just wanted to explore that look on your face. Like, what is your feeling about
think he's got to be
Tyson
better.
Campbell?
I like him, but I want more. I want him to be a lot better than he's shown. The
Let me ask
injuries
you
are
this.
part of it, so you got to factor that in. But he's got to
When
stay
they
healthy.
played Minnesota last year,
Yep.
he helped play Justin Jefferson as well as pretty much anyone did all year long.
Yeah.
Why do we not see that more consistently?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, why don't we see more or why haven't we seen more consistency around a lot of them, including the quarterback? You know what I mean? You can
Well,
say
why
that.
is that? What do you think that is? Is it not enough being demanded of them? Is it their own like you said? Hey, in the end, a lot of this is on the player.
Look,
to take it upon themselves.
This is how I feel. I feel as a former, or just watching the game, if you're a team that continuously makes the same mistakes over and over, like we saw last year especially, if you're a player that does, right? Now, not all of them do. Some play great, but consistently play really well. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's a player that plays consistently well is a guy that's all in. And I'm not saying these guys aren't, because I don't know. But for me, you're all in. You know the game plan. You're watching extra film. You're doing the extra conditioning. For those 10 months, it's all football. It's nothing else. I love the game. I care about my performance each and every week. That's how you get consistent football. Because you can't tell me how many times, and we've been over this, but when you're out of position, running the wrong route, not in the right coverage, dropping the football, missing an easy throw, whatever it may be, the backside safety being targeted and jumping on the under route, over and over and over again. To me, it's the player that doesn't give a crap enough to fix those things because you're the one out there. Now, you can say, well, it's the coach. Listen, these are professional football. These are men, some in their mid to late 20s, early 30s. It's not up to the coach. It's up to the damn player to make sure those mistakes don't happen again. So for me, if I make the same mistakes over and over again, I'm not in my book enough. I don't know the plays well enough. I don't know the coverage well enough. I don't know the scheme well enough. I don't know the formation I'm looking at well enough. I don't know the tendencies well enough. I mean, you got to have all that stuff. So, look, I just met Luke Kuechly, right? And then I talked to Dan Coppett, who played center for the Patriots, and we're talking about Kuechly. He's like, guy knew every play. He knew every play. Well, that just doesn't come to you. You study that stuff. You watch the film. The coach gives you the tendency book. On 3rd and 3, on this side of the 50, in this formation, they're running this or this. And you're like a computer. Okay, I see it because I've been studying it like crazy. And you can go to the play because you know where it's going. That's a player that is all the way in. all the way in 100% all the time. I don't think they had enough of those guys. I don't know about this year because it's a big turnover, which is great. But the last 2 years, there were guys that cared. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think they had enough guys that did that extra stuff, that cared enough to fix those mistakes that we saw week in and week out.
All right, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I wanted to finish your thoughts on the secondary. At least get some more thoughts from you. So, all right, Foye, certainly. I mean, Foye is just, to me, Mr. Consistency. Yesterday, he was my answer for, we asked who is the player you have the most confidence in to perform at a high level for the Jaguars this year, to deliver on what your expectations are, as long as they're reasonably high. And I think Foye is that guy who does that pretty much every year.
He's a candidate for. I think Trayvon's going to have another. I think he's going to take another step.
I think Trayvon is the answer to this question today. In fact, when we make today's 10-10 take right here, Dylan, we're asking about the most underappreciated Jacksonville Jaguars.
10-10 take. Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take is serviced by Ideal Conditions Heating and Air, your go-to local HVAC company, veteran owned and operated.
I think Trayvon has a few things working against him, right? I mean, obviously we know he got selected right before Aiden Hutchinson. And, it's not Trayvon's fault that happened, but you look at Aiden Hutchinson last year, what did he have, like 7.5 sacks in 6 games? Yep. He was on pace to have 20-plus sacks last year. I mean, just phenomenal. Then he got hurt. Trayvon hasn't. So there's that aspect of it, that head-to-head comparison. There's also, Josh Hines-Allen rushes on that line, and he had that gaudy 17.5 sack season 2 years ago. So while Trayvon has been very good, double-digit sacks, it hasn't been that near league-leading total for him so far. And another one, not here that it impacts him, but outside of Jacksonville is the Jacksonville market, right? Who's talking about the Jaguars pass rush when they're playing their way into the 5th pick in the draft, right? It's just not happening that much, Tom. But when you've had an offseason where Trayvon Walker, by every Yahoo out there, has been named as a trade candidate, and they'd be like, we could give a 3rd-round pick for Trayvon Walker. Who says no? The Jags say no. They scream no. Are you kidding? The fact that people could actually think that you could pry him away from Jacksonville for such little compensation makes me wonder if they really realize what he's been able to do in the first few years of his career.
Here's what's underappreciated. You go from a 3-4 outside backer to a 4-3 D end, and your production goes up. And those are two different positions, and he didn't play in college. Those weren't the things maybe on the down defensive end down lineman side he did, but as an outside 3-4, he didn't.
But not
all the time.
Right.
No, right. They moved him all over the place. I think Aiden Hutchinson's a great player, but I think when it's all said and done, Trayvon Walker is going to be one of those players. Will he get his 15 to 17, 18 sacks? Maybe not, but I think he's going to be a guy that's going to be around that 10 to 12, and he's going to be very good against the run. I think the freaking nature that he is, you go back and watch that fumble return. I mean, you're talking like 6'7", 6'6", 285, moving like that, running like that. The thing that really has impressed me about him, he went from bull rush in year 1 to dipping in year 2. You saw the bend. You saw that he's been working on that bend around that tackle. You saw the dip. I think that's going to continue to get better. You saw his hand movement. You saw him knocking hands down. He's very, very fast, very athletic. I think he's going to have a big year in this year coming up.
I will say you've been watching way too much NBA playoffs if you think Trayvon's going at 6'7", right?
Yeah,
so
6'6".
He's listed at 6'5".
Yeah.
They usually list him a little bigger, but
I think he's every bit 6'5".
You think so?
You don't?
I don't know.
Let's go stand by him next time we're out there together.
6'7" is
no, he's not 6'7". I said that a little high. That was
all right. Well, either way.
Yeah.
Either way. I just wanted to.
Whatever. He's a freak in nature.
He is a freak in nature. Look, by the way, I think Josh Hines-Allen can be considered an underappreciated player, depending on in some circles, right? Because he had 17.5, but he fell off last year. Why can't he do it every year? He's the all-time leading sacker in Jaguars history, right? Yeah. I mean, I think Josh Hines-Allen has been a really, really good player for this franchise. Would I like to see him consistently be in that 12 to 15 range? Absolutely.
Well, look, I think, and it's not him, it's people that talk about his game. They always bring up pressures. He's got all these pressures, but pressures to me don't mean that much unless it results in a negative play. If you pressure the QB out of the pocket, he throws the ball down the field for a first down, that doesn't matter. Like the pressure didn't even, why even factor that in. QB hits and sacks are what's matter. That's what he's paid the big money to do. So, yeah, we expect him that 12, 13, and plus range. Look, he's a disruptor, though. They need help on the inside. There's no question about it. I think Eric Armstead moving inside is going to help both of them a ton. And I think Mason Smith, listen, I'll take that front four right now, Mike, wouldn't you? Josh Hines-Allen, Eric Armstead, Mason Smith, and Trayvon Walker. That's a pretty darn
Mason
good front
Smith,
four.
your nose in that scenario,
I guess he would have to be, and if that doesn't work out, well, then we'll go back to why didn't you grab a nose?
Right.
Grab the nose.
Or do they like Jordan Jefferson? Does Devon Hamilton kick it into gear this year? I mean, they have some options there. But no, I think I'm very, I don't think Mason Smith's underappreciated. He hasn't done enough.
But he's got a lot of potential. That kid. He turned it on late. I don't know what was going on early in the year. Something was going on. I mean, second-round pick, you're not playing. I know there's an injury.
As we talked with D-Rock yesterday, he admitted, I needed to learn to be a pro. I need to be, in my playbook more. He said that himself.
See,
you know
that's what I'm talking about.
Well, he grew
At least he
up.
admitted to it.
Right, he grew up.
Right.
So, and he did come on down the stretch. A lot of guys have lost rookie seasons. I don't think he had a lost rookie season. I think he had an interesting one, to tantalize you down the stretch.
It was going up.
If you're looking at diamonds in the rough on this team, I mean, he could
be a
number one guy.
Player. Yeah,
right?
I agree with that.
All right, one segment to go. We'll see what some of the submissions we got today were in terms of underappreciated players for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Got a few more odds and ends that we'll clean up from the week with Tom McManus as well. Get his thoughts on those as we send you into the Memorial Day weekend. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
For the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL. 1010XL takes you behind the microphone.
But I'm not going down for this. You're on your own. I'm out of here. Don't forget the ride.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
You want my vote for the Psycho Hall of Fame? You got it.
They are The Drill. Mornings on 1010XL.
Hey, Carline here. If you're shopping for a new ride, you've got to check out Atlantic Infinity. Not only do you get a luxury vehicle, you also get the Atlantic Infinity Promise Free with every new car. That's almost $2,500 in added value just for buying smarter, and you don't have to sweat it out on the lot. Shop in their indoor, climate-controlled showrooms. It's cool, comfortable, hassle-free. They're on Atlantic near St. John's Bluff, or browse anytime at AtlanticInfinity.com.
Hey folks, Frank Frangie here reminding you the 4th annual Dailies Walk-Off Charities Golf Classic is right around the corner. We sure appreciate our friends at Dailies, always making it possible, and appreciate so many of you who have played over the years. Well, this year, we're back at Deer Creek Country Club Monday, June 9th at 9 a.m. with tons of prizes, auction items, and an awful lot of fun. You'll even meet some of our young walk-off players. Just go to walkoffcharities.com for more information. Can't wait to see you on June 9th at the Dailies Walk-Off Charities Golf Classic.
Get a healthy start in 2025. The Florida Department of Health in Duval County is here to encourage you to get healthy and stay healthy this year. They have a dedicated team who are committed to providing quality care. The goal is to protect, promote, and improve the health of you and your family. Visit to learn more about their health programs and services. That's duval.floridahealth.gov.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold and silver and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at almost $3,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar or trade it in for a new piece and get even more value at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Jason, I don't see how a new air conditioner is going to work out for me.
Well, you like air conditioning, right?
Oh, yeah, totally. But a new air conditioner could be expensive.
Well, not if you...
I mean, to save up the money, I probably have to give up my extra hot skim latte every morning. Now I fall asleep during a staff meeting, get volunteered for the summer picnic committee, and end up sitting in the dunk tank all afternoon getting water up my nose.
Okay, look at it this way. Put on these sunglasses. Whoa. Bueller Air and Plumbing puts in a new AC. We hook you up with affordable financing, and you stay cool and comfortable for just $149 a month. Cool?
Cool. I see it now.
Life can be hard on your budget. If you suffer through the heat because of a broken AC you could totally afford to replace, you could visit.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
I'm Max Fink on your Gator station. 1010XL is your pipeline to Gator Nation. Listen to the Gator Report all year round.
Freshened up by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators. 1010XL.
Go Gators! Hey guys, Coach Campo here. We just left Tony D's Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295. My wife is still raving about the eggplant parmesan. At Tony D's, it's more than just pizza. I'll see you there.
Pacifico, discovered by accident.
Yeah, the story goes, a group of friends went down to Mexico looking for some legendary waves. They never found them. But what they did find was something even better. An unforgettable Mexican lager.
Where'd you hear that?
Tell your next great story with a friend and a delicious Pacifico Mexican lager.
Pacifico, find your own way.
If someone you love needs a pick-me-up, then it's time to get serious about it and send them a Kuhn Floral Arrangements. Dylan Denmark here with 1010XL. You'll be assured of a quality delivery, that's for sure. Log on and order online at kuhnflowers.com.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball is home this weekend at the newly renovated 5-Star Ballpark. Join us tonight on Red Shirt Friday for fireworks and free hats to the first 2,000 fans through the main gate, all courtesy of UF Health. Then it's our first Honey Drippers weekend with fireworks Saturday and Sunday. Tickets start at just $5. JackShrimp.com for tickets. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, affordable family fun.
David here with Royal Pest Services. Man, don't let your yard be torn up by that heavy aeration machine this spring. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to learn more about our granular aeration. Broadcast throughout the tree and shrubs to break up that compacted soil. Visit RoyalPestServices.com.
I-9 Sports is geared up for fun for kids all over the First Coast with summer and fall registration now open. Kids ages 3 to 17 can get in the gym or on the field with I-9 Sports, covering Clay, Duval, St. John's. And I-9 has all-girls flag football at Oakleaf, UNF, Fletcher, and Creekside. Plenty of other spots and sports on the First Coast to take advantage of. Don't miss out. Registration now open for summer and fall at I-9 Sports. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, coming down the stretch here. Last radio segment for me for 9 days. I'll be back the following Monday. I love it. No Sirius XM.
Oh.
So I'm free and clear for 9 days.
Free to do what you want.
Free to do what I want.
Time.
Free to sleep in. Free to swing the golf club. Free to do whatever my wife
Throw
tells
some
me
parties?
to do.
That's right.
Probably no parties.
No parties.
Yeah,
Partying.
I'm not a potty kind
No
of guy
potties.
at this stage.
I am.
You know, like my wife's like, "What do you want to do on your vacation?" This is how boring and old I am. Like, hey, wouldn't it be great to? It's like go to Volano and look for shark's teeth. Like we love doing that.
Yeah, that's a good outing. You know, I've never been able to find one.
Really?
Ever.
My wife is like
Same.
a savant.
I know.
With that.
They
I
all
probably found a half dozen in my, but she's 100 of them.
It gets to be a joke where I just grab a shell and I put it up next to it. Like, look at this.
Look, it's a shark's tooth, isn't it?
Shark's tooth. No, it's not that.
Not the case. I do.
And my neck starts hurting looking down.
I'm an
too
old
much.
beachcomber, Tom, is what I am.
When you know what you should do when you retire is be one of those guys with the sonar, the radar, looking for
metal
stuff.
detector.
Yeah, the metal detector.
The sonar
guys.
or the radar or the metal detector. Let me get some sonar out here. See if we can't find some old scraps of metal on the beach, an old fishing lure.
You never know. The artifacts are there, Mike.
Hey,
especially in Volano.
They may well be.
That's right.
When retire. Who's going to retire? I'm going to die at the microphone, man.
By then you can do it from bed.
I'm just going to fall. Well, you can, though. I mean, now you can do it from anywhere. Saw this. Gene Fournette tweeted out, grateful to the Jacksonville Shrimp and owner Jen Babby for allowing me to throw out the first pitch tonight before the Jumbo Shrimp game against the Memphis Redbirds. So Gene has already told on himself he's going to toe the rubber. So he's not. Sometimes they do it right in front of the mound.
Okay.
So he says number one rule is don't bounce it in front of home plate. Better to sail it to the back of the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Go Dennis Eckersley and just whip it.
What's the speed for Gene, you think?
Oh,
48.
I was going to say 40, like whatever.
Yeah.
It's got to go fast enough to stay airborne.
Get there, yeah.
But I did get to throw out the back in the day when it was the Sun still.
Yeah.
I used to do their games with Joe Block and
That's
Alan
right, I
Garrett
remember
for
that.
5 years.
Yeah,
I
Joe
was like the number
Block,
2 guy. I wasn't like the
I
lead guy or
remember,
anything.
I
But
remember.
one time they asked me, hey, would you throw out the first pitch before a game? And I thought, sure, I'll do it. And I thought, there's not a whole lot that can go right here, okay? Because if you throw a great first pitch, no one's going to remember it.
Right.
But if you throw a really bad first pitch, it might go down and be memorialized on video. I threw a changeup. I mean, what a weak sauce. I really did. I threw that thing just like dead strike.
Yeah.
But Dylan would have taken me deep so quickly.
I used to be able to throw a nice knuckleball.
Could you?
Remember the old knuckleball?
Oh, I remember the knuckleball, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't thrown out a first pitch. The ball is really small. I think that's part of the problem, like how you control the ball. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily your arm strength.
I don't understand all these guys. The different pitches they throw are like half their fingers are off the ball and all.
Yeah.
Like, how do you have enough grip strength to still throw that thing 90 miles an hour? And not me. Maybe Gene Fournette tonight.
Yeah,
See
go
what he
get him,
hits on
Gene.
Get
Right
that
down the
radar
middle,
gun out,
baby.
Fournette.
Right down the middle.
We're going to be watching, right? Right down the middle, but a little sauce on it.
Yeah,
too.
bring the heat.
I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
Not that guy. All right, so let's take a look at some of the response. I'm like, did I close Twitter? No, I'm reading Twitter right now as I speak. So some of the men, the players that got mentioned here that are underappreciated for the Jags. Foye, I would vote Foye. You know, I think that's reasonable. How about Jarian Jones from Mr. T Online?
He hasn't played enough yet, but I like him a lot. I think he's going to be a baller.
He's an interesting player as to how big his role is going to be this year.
Going to have to earn something.
Right?
Which is a great thing. And I think he will. I like him a lot. I like his swag. I think he does care. He seems like a guy that really cares about playing football, and I think it'll show even more so. So he's in a battle. Nothing's going to be handed to him. But
whenever Travis Hunter's on the field, you think that's where your competition's coming from. And we know they're going to do everything they can to utilize Travis Hunter to full effect this year. So you got Tyson. You figured Jordan. They didn't pay Jordan Lewis that money.
I know.
To not make him the nickel.
Right.
I mean, he's the nickel.
Right.
So if Jarian Jones is going to play outside of dime packages, he's going to have to, and look, I don't think Travis Hunter's going to be a full-time, every down out quarterback. Right. So he'll get his action on the field. I don't know if I'm with you. I don't know if he's underappreciated, but he is one of those interesting developmental players that we could get a lot more out of in the next few years.
Could he, and I don't even know if it's on the table, but could he beat out Tyson Campbell for the left corner position?
Could he?
I mean, they didn't sign him to that extension. That came from the other regime.
They didn't. Tyson Campbell.
Listen, I like Tyson. I really do. I think he's a physical corner. I like when he comes up against the run. He does have some really nice games. I just want to see more consistency out of him. Like, I'm not going to sit there and call him one of the top DBs in the game because he's not consistent enough for me to say that. Now, the injury to the hammy, listen, when you have that hammy injury as a corner and you can't open that gate up and really go, it's going to affect your game big time. You're better off just sitting out and letting it heal. You know what I mean? Because you can't open the gate. So I know that was part of it. But when he's healthy, I like him. And granted, I'm of the believer, the better the rush, the better the coverage. Get a better pass rush, and you'll have better coverage on the back end.
I would look at Tyson Campbell and say, well, look at the dead cap hit that they would take to not have Tyson Campbell. You're better off just paying him to be here. Well, I didn't feel that way with Gabe Davis. Right now, Tyson, I think, is in a completely different category. He's played good football.
When healthy.
Exceptional football for the team at times. Got to do it more consistently, like we said. I mean, not the equivalent of going out there and having the game he did against Justin Jefferson last year. Gabe Davis never approached that level. I mean, he had a 2-touchdown game in garbage time, but who cares kind of thing. Anyway, you would think Tyson's dead cap money would lock him into this roster for a couple of years, but that at least gives you pause. Plus the fact he's in his mid-20s. He is a talented guy.
Yeah.
I don't think they're looking to move on from Tyson Campbell at all.
No, definitely not. But they want him to earn it, too, at the same time. I think I don't know. I get this weird feeling there's more to the game than just football. I know it falls football because where's he going to fit? And that's legit. I just get this thing let's cut out any negative. I know I'm sure they're fine, but they had that little spat. Maybe there's something
it was
to
interesting,
it.
though, because Mitch Morse came out and talked about what a great locker room guy Dave
did.
was.
He came to
right?
bat for him big time.
Demetrius Harvey kind of alluded to that he wasn't always the happiest camper.
Right.
Year when we talked to him, and Mitch was his former teammate in Buffalo. I'm sure he's going to, take up for Gabe Davis, who, by the way, remains unsigned.
Yeah, he does. But at the same time, Demetrius responded to that. Mitch came out first, and you're like, why not just wish him good luck? Why is it, this is a head scratcher? Unless there's something there. That's what got my antenna up. Why didn't you just say, hey, man, I love playing with you. You're a great teammate. You're going to have a great career. Best of luck moving forward.
Or maybe he feels that way. Different people have different perspectives.
Yeah.
The question was, part of the question was, do you agree with the Brenton Strange being underappreciated? Polar on Twitter said, yes, people just don't understand he'll have a pretty big role in the offense next year, meaning 2025. But it's not so much what you're anticipating him doing. It's is he not getting enough recognition for what he's already done? Another good one he says is Mason Smith. Again, I don't think Mason Smith is underappreciated. I think these are potential breakout candidates for the Jags.
I think they're more, I'd put them in the exciting to see type category, like what they're going to do next. That's what I'm looking for.
I would say Brenton Strange is more underappreciated so far than Mason Smith if you were just comparing the two.
Those two, yeah.
We were looking at earlier, Tom. No offense to Brenton Strange, but when 411 yards by ostensibly your number 2 tight end is the second highest receiving total of any player on your team in today's NFL, you can't have that.
No, you can't. That's not going to work.
12 whatever with BT, who by the way they call him. They don't. You notice that the players and the coaches all call him BT.
Do they?
We call him BTJ.
Okay,
but whatever.
What's he want to be called? Does he care?
I would assume BT probably more because that's what his teammates call him.
Yeah.
I
get asked that. What do you want to be called? I'm like, my friends call me whatever. Tommy
Mac,
Meathead,
whatever.
T-Mac, yeah.
Gaston,
that's right. Coming up, couple weeks, Mike.
Another starring role on the stage for you.
Yes, sir. Beauty and the Beast. Nancy Dance's 40th anniversary.
Wow.
June 8th. And they're having alumni. They're having 100 alumni. So get this. My wife, my 3 girls, and myself will all be on stage during the Nancy Dance recital. I'll be part of the ballet, and then I'm done. And by the way, 7 other dads are part of it. It's great. We're having a heck of a time rehearsing with our children. They're all on stage with us, playing the roles. And I'm playing Gaston. By the way, I played it 13 years ago, and the costume still fits.
How about that?
How about that, man?
Was it big then? I'm kidding. I'm not the one to talk here. Adam said Trevor Lawrence is the underappreciated one. Dude is constantly being slammed when bro has led the league in drop passes since he entered the league. Also, bad offensive line, subpar running game, a defense that can't get off the field to give him another chance. But, all right, I know you're doing the talk thing, but we talked about this. Some people see him in exactly that light, right? That all these things that have gone wrong around him, I think you got to acknowledge that he has not lived up to it even when it's been perfect around him all the time.
Here, look, I would agree with a lot of that if the routine throws were made a lot more. He misses too many routines. He does, and you can't say that he doesn't. You can put every excuse in the book, but he'll make that tremendous throw where you're like, holy cow, what a great throw. And then he'll miss a simple throw. You're like, bro, how did you miss that? He's wide open. You got time. You got a pocket. And you overshoot him. You throw it too far outside. You throw it inside where they get a chance to, knock it down or pick it. It's just inconsistent. He doesn't do it all the time. Sometimes he makes routine throws, no problem. But inconsistently, he does not, man. He doesn't do enough of that.
All right, couple more. Ed said nationally it's Trayvon, which I would agree with. Locally, he says ETN. I think his numbers suffered from bad O-line play and poor coaching last year. Well, I mean, look at his numbers next to Tank Bigsby.
Right.
Did his suffer from bad O-line play and poor coaching, or did he just outperform Travis Etienne
I'm
last
telling you,
year.
more times than not, yes, the line didn't do their job on 3rd and 1, but for other than that on the run game, a lot of times the backs missed the timing of the hole. That zone offensive running game, it's all based on timing. When you plant that foot and go to the hole, and I'm telling you, they missed the hole more times than you think.
Cobalt Blue said nationally, it's got to be Foye, Pro Bowl level talent. Regionally, Daniel Thomas, dude is a killer on special teams, not too shabby as a rotational safety. You know what? That's a fair one. And look, by the way, if you're going to talk specialists, all right, Matysic's not underappreciated. Man's made the Pro Bowl for a couple of years, right?
Absolutely.
But Cam Little might be, right? And like Cam Little was literally one of the best kickers in the National Football League last year, but you'd never know anybody. You'd never hear anyone talk about that outside of Duval because they didn't win many games.
Yeah, no, our specialists are fantastic. I'll tell you this, Daniel Thomas, every team needs a Daniel Thomas in their locker room. Every team needs him on his team.
Will this team have Daniel Thomas?
Well, I hope as a gunner, he's a good gunner, man. He can play that special teams role pretty darn well. So I hope he makes it.
All right, Tommy, our time is coming to an end, so let's say hello to Helmets and Heels.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
Hello, Lauren. How are you?
Hello. You
LB?
look like Mike looks like a guy that's about to have an entire week off.
And playing golf.
Definitely
bookend
golf.
weekends to go with it.
Correct.
Yes. And
Absolutely.
his tea time is inside 2 hours from now.
Yes, you look like all those things.
The first of many. That is, Dylan and I just made a tea time for Sunday on the last break.
Did you call or did you do it on the app?
Oh, on the phone. Do it on the phone all the time. Yeah. Come on now. Dylan doesn't know. Is this how you used to make tea times? This is the way he asked me the other day. He's like, you have to call the course, and yes, that's
Same with dinner reservations. You used to call the restaurant.
Like you had to call someone
Or-
and find out. And if you were in the car, you had to wait until you got somewhere that had a phone.
I would like to take anyone that is maybe 30 and under, take their phone away and say, okay, I need you to get to this spot that they've never been to.
Are they allowed to print out directions from MapQuest?
They are.
Okay.
They just can't use their phone.
What about a paper map? Dylan, have you ever held a paper map?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you have? Okay.
I'm still kind of that young. I remember whenever I was in Pop Warner, my dad would have like a list of like where we were going for our ballpark. He's like, gotta turn here, gotta go there,
Yeah.
at the light, go left,
MapQuest.
right there.
Yeah.
But if you somehow got lost with MapQuest printed directions, there was no help.
I'm sure your parents probably did, but like certainly my age, our parents had a pocket in the back.
Yeah.
Like on the passenger side that was full of maps.
Yeah.
It was like full of maps. You had the East Coast of the United States. You had the Florida map. You had the local map. You had all these damn maps.
And now we have GPSs.
Right, and we never used them, by the way. The vast majority of them, you never used them, But
I remember we would plan a trip, let's say to like North Carolina, and you'd get out that folding map and you'd map out the road.
All right, here's the point: we're going to turn left at
Get in the
Piedmont.
station
Right,
wagon.
and if they're
Drive forever.
my best friend growing up, her parents had a station wagon with folding map.
Yeah,
and we'd map out the road.
All right, here's the point: we're going to turn left at
Get in the
Piedmont.
station
Right,
wagon.
and if they're
Drive forever.
my
Old school seatbelts.
Yes. Speaking
Go.
of old school, so Coach Driscoll, Matthew Driscoll, has been at the helm of UNF men's basketball for 16 years. Had the privilege of working with him about 10 years ago when I worked at UNF. He announced basically last night, the UNF organization did, that he's going to step down, and so Coach Kinnan will take over. So Mia stayed a little bit after the press conference to catch up with Coach Kinnan, so we'll be able to bring that audio to you, but also weigh in on everything that Coach Driscoll did, his legacy.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's a great basketball coach, but he is a phenomenal human being, and he had so many good stories to share about recruiting and just life in general. So we'll certainly get into that. We'll talk some Jags too and have a lot of fun. It's a Friday.
It is a Friday.
Absolutely. Long
and,
weekend ahead.
It begins
That's
right now, baby. Let's go.
Start your engines. Let's go.
All right, LB, have a great show.
Thank you so much. Have a great week off.
Thank you very
Tommy
much.
Mac,
I'll
have
be
a
here
great
next
weekend.
week.
Tom, you'll see a lot of Tom
Next week.
Excellent. Okay.
All
You're
right.
sitting in for
We can
3
commute
shows.
together. We can carpool together.
From
You
the
could?
beach. That's
Yeah.
right.
That's right.
That's right. We'll
Absolutely.
ride
All
our
right.
bikes.
Oh, we can do that.
There you go.
Helmets and Heels next 2 hours. Thanks, Lauren.
Thank you.
Appreciate
All
it.
right.
Tommy Mack, have a
Yeah,
great next couple weeks.
I will. We're going to have a great celebration of 2 21-year-olds this week. And my daughter and a great friend of ours, almost family, Ava Lou's turning 21 as well. So they finally can go into the local bars legally.
Nice.
How about that? Isn't that a great
Legally,
thing?
that's the key word. They've never been there before.
No. We didn't either, right?
No, of course not. I remember one bartender at Scarlett O'Hara's got pissed at me on my 21st birthday because he'd been serving me for quite a while back in the day.
Oh,
But
man.
you made it, buddy. Statute of limitations.
That's right. I was bouncing at 17.
There you go.
That was great.
You and Mr. T.
Yeah,
That's
me
a story
and
for
Mr.
another
T,
day.
That's right.
All right. For Tom McManus, for Dylan Denmark, I will unfortunately see Dylan probably several times between now and my return. Tony Smith will be back with you next Tuesday. Everybody have a safe and happy Memorial Day weekend, and I'll be back a week from Monday here on Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Happy holiday